I'm Dr. Kevin Mays. I'm a consultant with Farr Associates, a leadership team and organizational development company, and I specialize in helping teams to maximize their performance by optimizing the way they move through the problem-solving process. Today, I'd like to talk to you about how you can help increase your team's productivity and move it further into high performance. Now, I want to begin by talking about two teams I've worked with recently, the fast team and the slow team. Now, the fast team I worked with was a team that was quick to move through the problem-solving process, and it was quick to come to solutions to problems it was facing. However, when looked at closely, it was seen that sometimes the solutions weren't as robust as they had hoped. They made poor decisions. The other team I worked with was a team that made high-quality decisions. However, it took it a long time to come to consensus and to make decisions, and often it would get lost in the problem-solving process. Why is it then that some teams are quick to make decisions and come to consensus, while other teams take longer? Well, it really boils down to the personality preferences of the individuals on the team and how the team moves through the problem-solving process. Now, there's 4 stages to this problem-solving process that I want to talk about today. The first stage is the stage in which the problem is fully understood. This is where the data is collected and the facts are assessed, the details are weighed. Once the problem is fully understood, the options can be weighed. This is when brainstorming happens, and a team then starts to assess all the possibilities and look for out-of-the-box solutions. Now, another phase in this problem-solving process, another phase is the planning phase. And this is planning relative to execution. It's planning a specific, creating a specific plan about how to move forward on the option that was decided upon. This is where the nuts and bolts are really weighed, it's measurable, there's timelines put into place, and ownership. All the while, during this process, the impact is weighed, the human and the organizational impact. Now, in returning to the 2 teams I spoke of earlier, the fast team and the slow team, would it surprise you to know that the fast team was a technological team I worked with? This was a team made up of like-minded individuals, and they moved through the problem-solving process in similar fashion. They liked the data. They assessed the data, did their best to understand what the problem was, and then moved right into planning. They executed quickly. However, when we looked at it closely, we saw they weren't taking time to come up with out-of-the-box solutions. They kept doing the same thing they had always done, kept getting the same answers, kept coming up with the same solutions. And when they did come up with a new solution, often their logical solutions would have an impact they hadn't foreseen. They created collateral damage in the organization. Now, the other team, the quick team, this was an executive management team that I worked with. Now, this team was made up of individuals who had very different preferences. For example, the head of accounting was very data focused, loved the details, and liked to dig into the information. The head of sales had a preference for understanding the human impact. And the head of HR, on the other hand, paid more attention to what the options were and loved to do the brainstorming and look at all the possibilities. So you would think they covered all the aspects of the problem-solving process. However, they didn't do so intentionally, and in effect, it actually stalled the problem-solving process. Because when they were faced with a problem, each one went to their own preferred area, and they didn't move through the process intentionally. What you want to do with your team is to move through this process intentionally, assessing the data, weighing the options, coming up with an execution plan, all the while paying attention to the impact, thus allowing your team to move quickly through the problem-solving process, coming up with high-quality solutions, finding this zone. If you can do this intentionally, you'll increase the performance of your team. This is what we help teams do at Farr. Thanks.